All right, how's it going? Um, this is my second official stream, BHT. So if you're new here, I'm just going to be building things, going over some partnerships that I've kind of put together, some client work, but mostly all things AI and data related. I'm gonna try to give you guys a good feel for who I am, what I do, um, kind of how I'm doing it as well. I don't know if the music's too loud or not, but we're about to see. Let's try to keep it in the background. So, yep, I'm gonna try to push this as far as I can and see what happens. The whole reason that I'm doing this is for branding, organic traffic, and just building the YouTube presence. And I know that creating raw, unfiltered content through means of streaming is going to be very helpful for that. So that's the intention here. I appreciate you guys being here. Without further ado, I'm going to jump into a couple of tools today. I had a video on my channel go really well, get the most views of recent about Email Sneak. It's a lead generation tool. So I'll probably play around with that a little bit. I might play around with Octoparse if I get to it. I'm going to show you guys some Google Sheets of past projects that I've done around this whole data scraping thing. And then I might actually get into Launch Analytics, my first app, which is this guy. So anyways, without further ado, let me disappear myself a little bit. I like that, like this. There we go. Okay, now you can see my screen. All right, I'm gonna try this with the music because last time kind of got quiet on me, a little bit too quiet. So let's see, in the build section, let's see what we got. Actually, I want to move this over here. Let's move this guy right here. Okay, Cosmic AI. Big shout out to Saad Sadiq, um, a guy that I am working on some projects with. So data analytics, machine learning. Really excited to do that. He's got a very, very impressive background in machine learning and cloud engineering. So it's going to be helpful for me. Let's see if I can actually log into this thing and show you guys a little bit around. I love the fact that we've got these integrations. So basically his tool, and I'll be sharing more about this. This is definitely not the first or the last time you'll hear about it. This tool allows you to query your data set, especially if you've got it in something like a BigQuery where you need SQL to find out. So you use natural language in order to ask it questions. Like you could say things like, um, what segment of my audience was responsible for the most purchases between XYZ date and XYZ date? And you can get an answer quickly. So if I can figure out how to log into this thing. I don't think there's a login here. Anyways, I'll get there when I get there, but essentially I was going to show you guys the back end so you can see exactly how it goes. But we're working on a project that allows you to talk directly to your data with natural language, plus have things like this available. And in my last live stream, I went over some of the tweaks I made here. mostly in this section with CVR, and adding in the heat map. We got percentages, we got colored percentages, and then we've got this to where we can organize it based on each metric separately. So who's got the smallest bounce rate, plus this one's got a good revenue and bounce rate, um, and the CBR is decent. So there you go. And how you would use this data is, hey, if this is the place that people are getting to, maybe there's also a funnel view that shows it's more than just when people go to this page, they tend to behave a certain way, right? There's also considerations about which funnel. So I might have like a drop down here for funnel number one, me figuring out which URLs perform best for funnel number one, funnel two, funnel three, that type of thing. I think that'll be very useful. And so I'm gonna go that route eventually here. But anyways, so I've been building these Chrome extensions, launch analytics here. I can remove this guy. I had a lot of these at one point because I was testing quite a bit. So what I just showed you, this dashboard, is also connected to this guy. So let's do this. Since I know where that Chrome extension comes from, which is Claude, maybe this guy. Oh, I know what to do. There's actually a smarter way to do this. Let me hop over to, how do I switch projects? Okay, there it goes. This guy. And then I'm gonna say, make sure the color scheme matches. So very simple. And I can even just use the URL. I remember previous models of Claude, you really couldn't get away with stuff like that. So I'm trying to take advantage of the current state of Claude. So last time I made changes to this was on the 25th. I don't know about the grid layout, what they're talking about there, but basically what I can do from here is pick this guy. Let me make sure that you guys can see everything because I'm going to be changing tools quite a bit here. Yeah, display view, not just, all right, here we go. So I use cursor for this. And if you guys know better ways to do this, please feel free. This is the whole idea of me showing this part of my journey is I am not a developer at all. I'm just pretty good at tinkering and figuring things out. So that's kind of my superpower, basically. I don't know why I just tried to do it that way. Pop-up JS. I wonder if there's like a keyboard shortcut to copying all this. And then style. Style should, you would think that style would be the only one that I need to tinker with in order to change the color scheme, but I guess not. All right, it's pretty much there. as far as color scheme goes, but let's retry. All right, let's see. Maybe it'll give me what I need here. All right, so now it's only building the style CSS. Okay. Okay, but I got both of my. That's what happens, man. All right, so we're back to 0. And style CSS is the only thing that's changed. So let's see if I can get what I want now. See if this works. It's funny because going through this, this is a crash course in development for me. Kind of the direction that I knew that I wanted to go and would go eventually. Um, but kind of using these tools is opening that up for me, which is great. But also, I'm not. It's not my strong suit. So me just realizing that anytime I make a change to the chart, the functionality of the chart, pop-up HTML is going to be the one for renaming tables and things of that nature. And then style usually correlates with color scheme and stuff like that. Yeah, this is good. Let's see if it works. Hope so. All right, time for pop-up HTML. Time for style CSS. Time for pop-up JavaScript. I gotta find a better way to do this because I'm just doing the whole copy paste thing. Alright, yeah, then it's not even really. Yeah, no. I didn't even give it the it's back up here. So I probably should go copy this one, that one, and then style. And so this should get me back to normal. Okay. Yeah, so I'm a huge drum and bass fan, a huge jungle fan specifically. I'm going to be playing a lot more of this. Sometimes I can get away without the copyright situation. That's really the goal. And then I learned how to build a Twitch extension earlier. All right. Looks like we have the newest version. Style.js. And then this one. So let's see. Almost, not quite though. Let me try this. Sometimes you gotta like dumb it down completely for this guy. Yeah, it's a hard one. I don't know why this guy's off, but and then this guy's something like that, and then this one's here. All right, that should get me back to normal. And then interesting. Top five. Top five's fine. I'll probably end up doing top three. I don't see why you would. It'd just be so convenient to just be like, boom, I can see everything. Where's the traffic's running to? Do this whole thing too. If it works, then I'll use this one as well. See if it works. We'll see. See, I almost put the wrong one. Pretty pissed about that. All right, let's see. Of course. You motherfuckers. All right. Oh, that's annoying. All right. Yeah, bro, am I fucking crazy or what's going on here? It's the pop-up HTML. Okay. It's this one. There we go. Let's try something else. Okay. So this should be something like this. Where's my... There we go. Yeah, I might not be able to get that landing page in the way that I want, but oh well. I'll at least add this piece. Mm. Yep, that's not it, baby. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. I hate this. This is the part, man. It's a wrestling match. It really is. Make sure you're using the starting point. Shit's a lot, bro. It's just constant tweaking, man. It's just constant tweaking. That's where it's at. It does not stop. So pop-up JS and my style CSS. Let's see if it works. What else are you gonna do? Give up or try again? That's basically the whole point of the game. This motherfucker, man. I hate it when they do that. Oh well. It's funny because the only way you get here through it is through a bit of a struggle with the tool. It's not like a magic prompt. It's more so the ability to troubleshoot and get what you want out of the tool. Let's see something. Man, yeah, I'll play around with that in a little bit. Um, let's do this real quick. So I got my HTML, got my CSS, manifest JSON. Probably don't need to switch this from what I'm starting to understand about the game. And then just pop up JSON or JS, sorry, not JSON. I don't know, that doesn't look like it's gonna work at all. Pretty good, not bad. I think they got stuck. And then we got this. Yeah, this is dope. So that's all funnels. It just intuitively made that. That's sick. Can you add a king's crown above the funnel? That is currently the highest revenue. Yeah, it's pretty sick, man. I'm not gonna lie. Pretty sick. Alright, so now I'm fixing that part. I think maybe I didn't get the full thing, bro. That's what that looks like. There we go. Alright, let's rock, baby. might be, I might, I might be able to get what I want from that. Oh yeah, I gotta push it live. I forgot. There you go. Constant tweaking, constant tweaking, man. They always do that. They give you kind of. I think they're just trying to save on compute. Only thing is I'm not a freaking developer, so I don't know all that. All right, let's go. Style CSS. All right, there we go. A little bit better. Now I want to make this match. Paid social, organic social. Let me change that. I think that's it. Let's see if I can do it. I don't know. This might be the last one. If I can get this last piece, I'll be pretty happy. Let's see what happened here. Oh, I forgot to do that part. Nice. So now I should be able to see this here. Check this guy. JS. Make sure. Just gotta make sure what you ask, man. There it goes. Nice. So I can quickly at a glance see the funnel that's doing the best. There you go. There's the funnel. Beautiful. Um, let's do that whole highlight thing. I'm gonna use the same exact wording. It's like my goal with this isn't to come out with a version that is perfect, because remember, all these are custom for me. I mentioned that in my last live stream. The goal is to create a better version each time I sit down and play with this, right? So at some point I should be so good at putting together Chrome extensions as a first version, first concept, if you will, that my the devs that I end up working with will be able to kind of count on that, and then it'll be a layup for them. So quickly implement, get the idea out, see if it works, that type of thing. It's gonna say, no, you're right. Thanks for mentioning it. It's gonna do that whole thing. It's crazy. So this is the money page, I guess. Nice. There you go. Nice. That's cool. Yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted. Yeah, it got cut off. All right, cool. That wasn't crazy. Awesome. Cool. So this is good. That's pretty good. I gotta. So then you can see which one is doing the best. Kind of get a feel for that. And then lastly is going to be this guy and getting the heat maps on point. And then I might be able to add either a chart, probably not, but this funnel feature. The beautiful thing about this is I can just go back in the chat and copy my exact prompt and see if I can get it to do what I need it to here. Let me do this real quick. So one thing I've also learned is you have to give it these instructions. So it can be like that. So something like that might work. Oops, this guy. Yeah, it's got to kind of wait for it. But yeah, while I'm waiting, taking a look at this. This is going to be super useful for the client. Um, and yeah, I'm loving that. Probably shouldn't have an all traffic. Let's change it. So we'll do that. Yeah, that's what's happening. If I don't catch it, I don't know about this music, y'all. Get that going. Okay, let's see it. Go back over the JS. That looks like that. And then let's see.